Hey everyone, I'm Keith. First of all, welcome to everyone joining us today. We're about to dive into a chat about Metaplay, and to make it even better, we have invited a special guest who's been super curious about it lately. So say hi to Parker.
Hey everybody, thanks for having me, Keith. I lead gaming here at Avalanche, and I want to really dive right into Metaplay and hear all about it. I guess really to start things off, do you want to just define what it is?
Right. Metaplay is about expanding how users and players engage with an IP beyond a traditional and conventional gameplay experience. It's the layer of interaction that grows around and beyond core experience through tools, services, and participations that influence the in-game economy, identity, and progression without always having to be on the full client on your PC. Metaplay is how a game begins to evolve into a broader ecosystem.
I'd love to understand how this concept enables like MapleStory in. How does MapleStory in play into Metaplay? Obviously, this is kind of your first approach into the Web3 economy with MapleStory in, and I would imagine there's a strategic angle there, right, with that being the first deployment.
Right. So in MapleStory universe, MapleStory N is the foundation, and like assets like NFTs, tokens, and the data structures that Metaplay connects to. Without a strong core game, like meaningful Metaplay layer and experience cannot exist. So MapleStory N supplies the content, the context, and the economic anchors that allows players to engage with the IP in more flexible and creative ways.
I think that makes a lot of sense. What do you think would imagine this broadens the horizon, but with your role on the strategy side, what's the angle and where do you see this going?
Metaplay unlocks accessibility, creativity, and it kind of opens up the door to welcome new types of users. Players who may not commit to full MMORPG sessions, doesn't have time to grind, I don't want to spend so much time learning the boss patterns, they can still interact with the ecosystem through services like item enhancement, trading, rental services, mission systems, or even UGC applications. It also enables builders and also creators to participate in expansion of the universe themselves. And over time, this, we believe, will create new communities, new forms of engagements, and even new business models, like all extending and contributing towards expanding the lifespan of the IP and the reach of the IP to more players, users, and consumers.
Got it. Me, who's more of a casual gamer, just wants to participate somehow, some way. What's kind of that lightest form of interaction for a casual gamer?
We have seen mobile games grow like crazy, but I think we have to learn from like how mobile game is expanding. One of the biggest reasons why mobile games played a significant role in kind of, to a degree, replacing a PC or console-based game is the accessibilities. And you can be loosely coupled, enjoy the same content in a little bit more casual. And I think Metaplay is going to create, like, I would say, mobile game version 2 or Mark 2 in a way.
Is there anything on the horizon that we should be looking out for? I think everybody watching this would be excited to kind of hear what the release schedule looks like.
Right. I think what I've just described is pretty big, right? And it won't be like, an overnight thing. So we'll be releasing these applications one by one. And the first to go off would be Smithy. Smithy will be officially live on the 29th of July, which is tomorrow, as our first Metaplay application. And this can be a prototype that introduces enhanced API functionalities and provides a foundation for what we're building. No game client is required. This is Metaplay in action, letting players interact with their core economy anytime and anywhere they want to. And Smithy is basically an item enhancement Lego that is liberated from the MapleStory and PC client. And you can be on the go, purchase an item from MapleStory Marketplace, enhance the item with Smithy, and even list it back on Marketplace. All these things without needing to be on PC.
Got it. That's super exciting. For me, as we kind of talked about earlier, being more on the casual side, that's an area that I will definitely jump into and explore. upon that release date. So excited to be looking out for that. So you mentioned a few key features that you were rolling out. You mentioned it being somewhat of a Lego piece on the item enhancement side of the economy. Do you feel like that's why did you choose that as the first kind of integration of Smithy and Metaplay? I'd be curious to hear how you feel like growing that is going to look. And yeah, I would just be more interested on the strategy side of that being kind of the initial deployment.
Right. We chose Smithy item enhancement feature as the first one to showcase our infinite IP playground vision, because it really captures the core emotional experience of MapleStory. The tension, the thrill, and the reward of becoming stronger. And I think anyone who plays MapleStory will relate to this, but enhancement is deeply familiar to our players as well. It's a shared memory across generations of the MapleStory community, I would say. And we also started with something that's uniquely MapleStory and structured enough to become a foundational API layers that our builders can utilize. It's about expanding how, where, and by whom those features can be experienced and reinvented. That's the real beginning of Infinite IP Playground, driven by the builders.
Awesome. I think that's what the ethos of, I think, blockchain enables. And the fact that it's kind of coming to life now and in our lifetime is really cool to see. I mean, I guess what kinds of services or features are you exploring? What's coming next?
So the goal is to create more entry points where NFTs, game assets, they expand their utility, while opening creative opportunities for the builders and players alike. As for what comes next in Metaplay, I think I'm restating this, but our priority is to create a full play cycle. And yes, I mean the full play cycle, including creation of characters, leveling up, acquisition of assets, boss play, trade, item enhancement, and more, outside of MapleStory clients.
That's awesome. How do you imagine these builders, or even myself on the casual gamer side, contributing to what Metaplay evolves into, and how you see? It's a crazy vision, but where do you see that evolving to from a community first perspective?
Right. When we have our first full cycle of MapleStory N experience outside of MapleStory N, especially outside of PC environment, the community is going to engage the game and the IP in a totally different manners. I think by making this whole experience lighter and more casual, their engagement might be even higher, although it's more casual. I think this is going to be a whole new experience for the gamers. I don't think there's a genre to even define this thing right.
The coolest part being both a partner to you guys at Next Space, but also being a player in MapleStory N and obviously the future iterations to come.
And what we are building here is not something that's for a short term, I would say. The Infinite IP Playground and the Metaplay, it represents a long-term commitment to growing MapleStory universe into a scalable and decentralized player-driven ecosystem. Now, I feel like we are creating a new genre of game, really. And we believe in the future where players and creators, they work alongside to expand the IP beyond what traditional games allow you. And I think this is just the very beginning of it. All right, time really flew while talking with Parker about Metaplay. Thank you, Parker. We hope you're as excited as we are to dive deep into the Infinite IP Playground and everything Metaplay has to offer. And the showcase isn't over yet, so please stay tuned until the end.